October 16th. It's the day after we launched our new products. And I want to show you how beautiful palette 4 is. So I'm going to put on my makeup today and use palette 4 so you can see how beautiful these colors are. Now the first thing I'm going to do is today I'm going to use our BB Flawless. And I wet my blending bud, and it's moist. I'm going to put just a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to dab this where I need it. I'm not going to put it on all over. Just going to add it to the areas of my skin that are uneven. And you just want to pat it on. You don't want to rub it, you just want to pat it on. And kind of press it down in. I used the Glorious Skin Primer before I got started. So this foundation is going to go on really nice and smooth, and it's really going to look nice. Okay, so that's starting to even out my skin tone. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Mineral Touch Skin Perfecting Liquid Concealer, and I'm going to put just a little bit on the back of my hand. And I'm going to use that around my eyes, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to use the tip of my blending bud. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to kind of press that into the dark circles and bring it down to here and then out. And then I'm going to bring it across here and bring it down. And then I'm just going to blend everything in. I'm going to blend the edges. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do that to the other side. Doing the same thing. If you need, I need a little bit more, so I'm just going to put another dab on the back of my hand. If you can, there you go. You can see that. That's all you need. Just a little tiny dab. This concealer is fantastic. It covers great, and it blends for miles. Okay, so that takes care of that. If you have any blemishes or anything, that would be the time. This is the time to cover those up. I have a few imperfections here that I want to cover up this morning. And you just press the blending bud. You're not swiping it and wiping the product off. You're actually pressing that into your skin. Okay. So that's all I'm going to do for my foundation. Now I'm going to grab my Beachfront bronzer. I'm going to use Beachfront bronzer and a little bit of Sweet. I like to use Sunset And I tell you what, sometimes I have enough on my brush in the morning that I don't even need to mix them. I like to mix these together. And I'm going to put just a little bit of blush. Just like that. Gives you a nice, fresh look when you mix the two together. Now I'm going to go in with my palette 4. See, I just got this. Let me show you the colors. The colors are really pretty. You can see that? Making sure the light hits it nicely. Yeah, you can see I did use it yesterday, but I wanted to share it with you today. Really pretty shades of browns and coppers and teal blues. Just kind of reminds me of the colors that you'd see out in nature. Very pretty. So I'm going to go in with, and I prepped everything. I prepped my eyes with the eye primer already. So I'm going to go in with Arrogant first, which is this one. I'm going to use Arrogant, and I'm going to use Brave. I'm going to use, I can't read them backwards, Secretive, Cheerful, and Triumphant I'm going to use as a liner. Arrogant's going to be my lid color. I'm going to go across my lid with this. This is a matte color. These are like all the other palettes where you have a blend of, all in the same color family, of mattes and shimmers. And if you notice, I'm using the brush that they recommend for the palette, which has a sponge on one end and a brush on the other. And that's what I recommend that you use with the palettes. Okay, so that's my lid color. And I'm going to go in with Secretive in the middle because I want the light to hit this and catch this in the middle of my eye. So this is going to go right in the middle of my lid. That's where I want the light to hit it. And I'm going to go in with Brave, which is a little bit darker than Arrogant. And I'm going to go right underneath my brow bone with that. And then I'm just going to use the edge of my finger to blend that out. Okay, I'm going to use Cheerful in the crease, which is the teal color, a medium teal. I'm going to kind of hit the outer corner of my eye with that. And when I put it right in the crease, I'm using a circular motion with the brush. I'm going right into the crease. Kind of helps press that color right in there. And then I'm going to take my fingertip and blend that, just like I did with Brave. Now I'm going to take my liner brush, and they do make a brush that has a brush on one end and a liner brush on the other. That's perfect to use. And I'm not using that today. I'm using my own personal liner brush. And I'm going to go in and use this as a liner. I like to give a little flick at the end, so it's an angle up, and then pull that down across my lid right down at the lash line. And I'm using a color that's almost a dark tealy blue. And it's a neat color to use instead of using black. I'm going to pull a little bit of that down underneath my eye. And then I'm going to go on this side and do the same thing. So when you do the flick up like that at an angle, at the 45-degree angle, that is giving you a bit of an eye lift. And then just pull that out across your lid right down at the lash line. And just pull a little bit of that color down underneath to balance everything. And I got a little bit on my waterline, so I'm going to clean that up. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a trick that I use with the Fair Powdered Concealer. This is the, I'm sorry, it's called Fresh. And it's a very pale yellow powder, mineral powder. And that's what I like to use as my color underneath my brow. And it stays in place. It's very pretty. It blends in with everything, and it helps highlight. So I'm going to use that right underneath my brow. See how pretty that is? And then I can pull that color down and help with my dark circles that I have. And I just want to press that color in. And then you can clean up this line if this line needs cleaned up. So it really comes in handy. I'm going to do the same with this side. And this is Fresh Mineral Powder Concealer. And I love this color just for this purpose. Then if you wanted to put like a shimmer over it, that would be perfect. But this just really helps clean everything up. Brightens up around your eyes. Helps clean up this line right here. It has a tendency to get smudged a little bit. Gives you nice clean lines. And that's how you do that. Okay. So the only thing we have left to do is our mascara. So I just started a new mascara today. This is the packaging that it comes in. And I'm going to take it out. comes in a nice pouch, so you can keep your tubes together all the time. I don't know about you, but I get tired of hunting for my mascara all the time. I don't have to anymore because I just put it back in the pouch. You'll notice that I opened both tubes. And what I'm going to do is keep them both open because I need both of them to be able to access them quickly. The taller tube, the longer tube, is the gel. So I'm going to put the gel on first and put a nice even coat. Coat your lashes evenly with the gel with a gentle touch going from the base to the tips of your lashes. This goes on nice and smooth. Right after, while it's still wet, I'm just taking and I'm patting the fibers into the gel from the halfway point out to the tips, not the whole way down at the base. Then I'm going to let that dry while I do my other eye and do the exact same thing from the base to the tips. A nice even coat with a gentle touch on the lashes. Even do the backs. Make sure that they get coated nice and even. I'm going to do the same thing while it's still wet. Just touch this and press it right into the gel while it's still wet. Now we're going to go right back over to this one because this had a chance to set. And you just seal in the fibers with a coat of gel, and you notice I'm doing the front and the back of my lashes. You have to do this part, the front and the back. And you can see already the volume and the length that you get just from one coat. And this is a naturally based product that you're using around your eyes. So you don't have to deal with the mess of glue and all that stuff around your eyes. I'm going to go in and finish this one. And then I'll put a coat of gel on my bottom lashes, and then we're done. So we used palette 4 today, and I have palette 5 too, so I'll be doing another video for palette 5, but today we used palette 4, which is really gorgeous colors that remind me of just being out in the woods. I love being out in the woods in the mountains. Okay, this is where you want to take your lash comb brow brush and you just comb through and separate. And just comb through and separate. Do this before it dries to get rid of any of those clumps. My lashes stick together like crazy naturally, so I need to go through and separate them. There we go. And then I'm just going to put a coat of gel on the bottom. And if you get a little bit of this on your skin, I always do. I can't do this without doing that. Then you just take a Q-tip and clean it up. That's how easy it is. This is water resistant, so it's going to stay on all day until you decide to take it off. There you go. See how pretty that is? Those are my lashes. That's palette 4. I just smudged because I didn't wait till they dried. So I'm going to have to go back in and clean up. So There is a little bit of a drying process to this, and I got overzealous. Didn't wait for that. So I will go back in and fix that with a Q-tip. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you for spending time with me this morning. You have a great day, ladies. Bye-bye.